one, but I'll figure it out. So, welcome back, and surprisingly, you can hear me this week. To re-emphasize, I am a complete trash person. I am the embodiment of. I almost said the Grinch because I was thinking of a different green monster, but actually Oscar.
Join Pikachu, Ash, and the gang. The Mandalorian is great in the new series, and let's check out what's new in the world of pop culture with your hosts John, Tim, and Quentin, and a podcast we call Rewind
and Reload.
Many people don't know that that's.
Oh,
It's
you're
not,
named
it's
after
not.
you're named after the trash monster instead of the
Yes.
alien,
Yeah.
or not. I almost said the alien, not the astronaut.
The alien. Yeah.
I mean, like,
Uh,
depending on where you're from, he's an astronaut, and depending on where you're from, he's an alien.
True.
That's a fair point. Which actually is kind of a pretty good segue into part of what we're talking about today.
Boom.
Oh shit,
Talking
it
about the
is.
blue. Yeah, it's good. We're gonna be talking about a movie that I don't like at all. I don't know why I picked this topic. I really don't. I mostly picked it, I think, so that I can rant about it and just get all this off my chest so that I can stop telling Carly about it and her saying, told me this hundreds of times. But today is going to be the Avatar by James. Now, before that, we haven't talked for a few weeks. Obviously, we do mini-sode stuff now, so we don't have to go into too much. But thing.
Absolutely
Nice.
not.
No, I play Yu-Gi-Oh!
No.
That's all I do. Go to school, I play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Same to some
That's about
degree,
it.
but just the Yu-Gi-Oh part.
Yeah, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast now, John. Give the fucking times.
I don't know the last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I think the
Well,
last time
you better
I played
start.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
In
last
your
time I
dad's old
played
garage?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Was probably with Quentin when he made me that Karibo deck that actually worked. Yeah, I don't know if it would work still, but that's the only way I would play again.
We
As
can
if
make
Quentin
you
made me
a
a new one.
revised Karibo deck. We can make it happen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I play Exodia Turbo and it doesn't work reliably, so
It doesn't always have to. Just like actually go to like a tournament and maybe.
I
be
don't
able
have
to
physical
place
cards.
in. Yeah.
There's no
well,
there's no reason to own physical Yu-Gi-Oh anymore.
It's fair.
I've had people
I saw-
argue with me, but
I'd have to disagree.
other than to flex your rarity,
Just ready. He's just ready with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
You
I
never
think
know
that-
when it's time to duel.
I think this is also the first time we've really been able to see Quentin's background because we're actually recording during the daytime.
yeah.
Like usually it's pretty dark in there.
Yeah, I have a room. It's pretty crazy, right?
A room.
I don't just live in a hole.
Many people thought you were homeless this whole time.
I have this room I paid. That room would cost you $2,000 to rent in New York, so
That's a fair point, and your toilet would be in that room too.
I
we just have a
if I
shower
tried-
curtain around it.
If I
Yeah.
tried hard enough, I could make the toilet in here. We could find a way. There is a toilet. I got cats.
Piss finds a way.
Piss finds a way.
All right. Speaking of piss and shit and all that, we're about 4 minutes in, so this shouldn't fuck our YouTuber. I mean, we get demonetized all the time, but I guess we'll get into today's topic. That sound okay?
I don't see why not. We're talking about poo-poo anyway.
Yeah, just keep getting into it.
Except it's going to be blue poo-poo.
Do you think they poop blue?
I don't think they poop.
I mean, you get to see a lot of butt shots, and they don't really have a butt crack.
That's
like smooth back there.
fair. They do wear like loin. Oh, we'll get into it.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not sure why I decided to cover this topic. I think it's just a mixture of the weather kind of being a little nicer. You get to that time of year and you start wanting to do some spring. So this is emotional baggage spring cleaning for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thought you were
I
going to
had
say
Quentin on
that
the ropes there for a minute.
that the nice weather makes you think about Avatar by James Cameron. What? Where does that come from? I get it.
Makes
now.
me think about Titanic by James Cameron.
Why?
That was him, right?
Yeah, that was him.
Because the anniversary is coming up.
I'll get into that, but actually he started working on the Avatar right after the Titanic. So
And he still couldn't come up with a better name than Unobtainium.
we're jumping the gun here, guys.
I bitched about Unobtainium before, but I'll do it again.
Yeah, we gotta. So obviously, in my humble opinion, this is one of the most overrated movies. I truly believe that if this did not come out in time of 3D and IMAX, that has since, I would venture to say, has died off. I don't think it would have done as good. I really don't. And I mean, it's obvious that it has been beaten as the top movie, but they just keep re-releasing this. And I really just think that it's riding on nostalgia. So I kind of was going to go into the plot just because I started rereading the plot of this movie and it isn't good. It's very unoriginal. It's
Not
almost like
memorable.
every other. No, it's not memorable either because a lot of the things I was reading, I was like, I didn't actually remember that. That's kind of trash.
I just remember that the guy's name is like Kilgore or something.
I didn't even put names in here. I'm going to be honest because I didn't care enough. And I also didn't feel like mispronouncing things. So I just took almost all the names except for the out. So I'll kind of just go into it. So it's the year 2154, which I still don't think that we're gonna be able to like do some like time slip space travel to get somewhere like Pandora in 100 years, 130 years.
Well, first contact day was April 5th, 2063, so we're coming up. It'll be fine.
We'll be alive, so
Here's a little Star Trek reference for you guys.
Fingers crossed.
I hate how long this Wikipedia is for this stupid movie. Sorry,
it's
go on.
terribly long. So obviously at this point in time, like we have come to believe, is that all of our natural resources are pretty much depleted. So they developed this thing called the Resource Development Administration. It's like a mining company that mines materials for the energy crisis. And the planet that they choose is Pandora. And the mineral that they have found that will be used for energy is called unobtainium.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid. It is the.
Also-
how do they obtain it?
Fucking naming the planet Pandora is also just so fucking stupid. It's like, we can make the whole Pandora's box because we're trying to drill into the planet to get the thing, and who knows what's gonna come out from it. Like, oh my fucking, I hate you, James
The
Cameron.
American
I hate you.
Experience. That's what comes out.
The American Experience.
What's this movie? This movie is just I mean, we'll talk about it, I'm sure, but this movie is just an extended fucking allegory for the treatment of the indigenous people in America, right?
Yes, that's
Yes.
completely what it is. It's completely correct. So Pandora is a densely forested habitable moon
Stupid.
orbiting Prometheus. Also a great grab on that one. It's Prometheus is a fictional gas giant in the Alpha Centauri star system. Pandora, whose atmosphere is poisonous to humans, is inhabited by the Na'vi. Now, the Na'vi are a species of 10-foot tall, blue-skinned humanoids that live in harmony with nature and worship a mother goddess named Iwa. I think it might just be hitting me right now that this movie could be slightly treated
Racist?
as, yes,
Yeah, because they're.
like if
I'm saying this as the point of view of James Cameron. They're just tree-loving savages.
because if this was made by a native person, it would be fine. Like I feel it because they did it. It was made by
I mean,
a white,
you can tell.
old white
You can.
man.
You can tell those stories, but it's just like,
I think there's better ways to do it.
yeah, this movie ain't it,
Just-
Chief.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, like, I get the message, but, like, still the way you're, like, going about doing it, like, okay, well, this guy is the only, like, human who's, like, empathetic towards them, but he had to, like,
he's the
become them
John.
first. Like,
He's the John Smith.
Like, you can't just, like, fucking... I just hate that it's like, okay, like the only reason that I like care for them is because I became one of the Na'vi or whatever, and it's like you can't just like I don't know.
There's no empathy
Wait.
until you become
There-
part of the problem.
Yeah, like
It's like how Republicans don't care about gay people until their kid comes out as gay.
yeah, exactly.
When you just said that the main character is John Smith, is this just Pocahontas?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's kind of just like supposed to be like
Like not the
Pocahontas
actual story
from the
Pocahontas,
white man
because that one's
perspective.
fucked up. But
Yeah.
the Disney version.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
It's the same story
I'm so glad that
essentially.
we did this because I'm just coming to more epiphanies on why I hate this movie.
If this movie, I'm going to come out and say it, even though I'll say it later again. If this movie didn't have the budget it had and didn't look as okay as it did, I mean, it still looks pretty good. Let's be honest. It would be a fucking just straight to DVD movie.
If anybody else's name besides fucking James Cameron was attached to it,
Yeah, fair, true. Also that.
completely different story. We would
Yes.
we probably wouldn't even be fucking talking about it right now.
So I do have some stuff later, more about the production stuff, some fun facts and everything. So I'll run through the plot. We can pick apart the plot and then kind of get into the shitty, real side of this, of the budgets and stuff like that. Because there was actually some pretty big, some juicy stuff on it. So to explore Pandora's biosphere, scientists use Na'vi human hybrids called avatars. They're pretty much just giant test tube babies that you have to plug your brain into. They are genetically matched with humans, and the lucky John Smith in this case is actually named Jake Sully, a paraplegic former Marine, and he actually is replacing his deceased identical twin brother as an operator of one of these whatever humanoid avatars. Yes, I should probably just use the word that they use, right?
So what was the like original purpose that like the United States government had for creating these test tube babies? to
Proxy
implant?
warfare.
Oh no, yeah. So I'll kind of get into what they are supposed to be doing. And
Okay,
it'll make a little
okay.
more sense.
Okay.
So
Proxy warfare is the
um,
answer.
yeah. So Dr. Grace Augustine, I'll say it again later, but this is one of the only saving graces of this movie, in my opinion. And I'll tell you who plays her later so that it makes sense. But if you've seen this movie, you know. So this is the head of the Avatar program. She considers Sully an inadequate replacement, but accepts his assignment as a bodyguard. She kind of sees him as inadequate because he's just a dumb Marine kind of thing, which is stupid. So while escorting avatars of Dr. Grace and another scientist, Norm, who I'm going to be completely honest with you, I forgot that this person was like after his first.
How'd you forget that? I don't remember who else this guy's played. Hold on. All right. What else have you played? Joel David Moore.
Joel David Moore.
He was in Dodgeball, Grandma's Boy.
Dodgeball is the one I remember him from.
Damn.
So, Jake's being this bodyguard for him. They're all in their avatar suits or whatever. And they're attacked by an alien beast. They all flee into the forest. They kind of get separated. Jake ends up actually getting rescued by a female Na'vi, which I just took her name out. It's played by Gamora.
Neytiri.
Yeah, I just didn't feel like trying to remember that.
No, it's
over
fine.
and over again. So witnessing this like weird sign from Mother Nature, she takes him to her clan. Her mother, who's the clan's spiritual leader, orders her daughter to initiate Jake into their society. So things are moving pretty fast for an almost 3-hour movie. Because this is like 10 minutes in.
Oh.
So like, they just
So that's
like,
another thing that
accept him
pisses me off.
in
The pacing is
willingly.
terrible. Yes.
Are there
Because
other
Mother Nature. Well, because
tribes
Mother
of
Nature
Na'vi?
is. Yes.
Okay, so okay.
There's other
So I was
there's a
like-
bunch of other tribes.
Okay,
But
I
this
wasn't sure if
one,
it was just
They
like,
got
how did they not
assigned-
question that there's just a fucking random 30-year-old Na'vi just poof out of thin air?
Yeah. Which I think it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's an Avatar person because he's wearing human clothes in this scene. He's wearing like what his normal body would be.
He's
How is he
wearing-
wearing it if he's 10 foot tall?
They
It looks
made
like children's
special
clothes on him.
clothes.
No, it looks like children's clothes on him, if I remember right.
The science.
It's
I
like-
remember the scientists had normal
Fucking
clothes, so they made
stupid.
clothes for their.
Or maybe who am I thinking of? Who has like tiny, their avatar has
think
like
he's-
tiny little shorts and like a fucking college t-shirt that's like,
I think that's that Norm.
is that the doctor's avatar later?
Oh yeah. But I think Jake's avatar in this point is still rocking kind of a crop top thing,
Okay,
but
fair
like
enough.
they're pretty big clothes. So they special made clothes for these things, by the way. They didn't just free ball it. Like I don't get that.
How do we assimilate you into the local culture? Just go out wearing
Yeah.
college t-shirts, fine.
So after this, the head of RDA's private security force promises Jake that the company will restore his legs if he gathers information about the Na'vi and the clan's gathering place, which is a giant tree called Home Tree.
Creative.
Super creative.
So, how did he get paralyzed? Is that ever covered?
It
He's
was
a
a
former
war
Marine.
accident, I believe.
Was it through being a Marine?
I believe
We have to
so.
assume.
So the government's like, hey, we will give back what we took from you if you go do more stuff for us.
That's the realest thing in this movie so far.
Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Kind of makes sense why this movie goes sideways. So he Home Tree is actually over the richest deposit of unobtainium in the whole area. And that's kind of why they haven't been able to get to it, because the Na'vi When Grace learns of this, she transfers herself, Jake, and Norm to an outpost. Over the following 3 months, Jake and his blue lady friend fall in love as Jake grows to sympathize with the natives.
There's 4 oh my god.
Might I add, hold on. Might I add, this is not very well done. 4 months takes place.
I didn't
and
remember that happens.
There's no mention, like slight, subtle mention really, of, hey, it's been 4 months. There's like really, the pacing in this movie is terrible.
There's like one montage.
Yeah. There's a fucking 80s movie montage.
Set
of
to like
training and fucking blue people.
Set to what's the name of the
Ponytails. Why?
What's that song from Tarzan? Where it's like,
oh, I don't know. Don't sing it. We'll really get to it.
Yeah, I don't want to get sued by Disney, but I can't remember the name of this. It's the song about Tarzan wanting to be like people and whatever. It's that song. But it's about wanting to be a Navi.
I can hear the tune in my head, but I cannot.
Me too.
I cannot tell you the words.
Ooby Doo.
So,
I want to be like you.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
I know my Tarzan music.
Yeah, that was good. I like how you sat on that for a second while we struggled.
I wanted to build up the suspense.
You just want to be.
I love when King Louie was in Tarzan.
King Louie. Oh. Yeah.
Isn't that who sings that song in Jungle Book?
I think so. I don't know.
Pretty sure it's King Louie.
So, back on topic.
Oh, shit. I was wrong. Hannah just texted me. She can hear me from the other room, and she said,
"You were wrong."
Jungle Book ? That's not Tarzan.
I told you. I knew it was King Louie.
Oh, snap.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks, Hannah.
Can Hannah be our resident fact checker at this point?
I thought he was joking. I thought he was.
I
was like, no, that's a Jungle
like,
Book.
I was like,
no, I knew that was a Jungle Book song, but I was like,
I got mixed up.
I'll go with the bit.
I have not watched
I wasn't
Jungle
a
Book in
bit.
so long. I fully believe Quinn. Oh my god,
That's what I do. I go on the internet and I spread misinformation.
Oh god, this is the Joe Rogan podcast now. Jesus Christ.
Two Worlds,
So,
I guess.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. Okay, back on topic. So the pacing's terrible, right? So
it's
eventually,
trash.
from this montage, Jake gets initiated into the tribe. He and his blue lady friend choose each other as mates. So they do the whole ponytail
fucking
thing. Yeah.
How much money did they spend on the
horsehair to make those?
I'm thinking more like the CGI budget for the ponytail sex scene specifically.
Well, there's a whole fuck pit underneath him when they do it.
There's a what?
What?
So in one of the scenes where they do like the ponytail linking thing and they kiss, there's like, I'm very, very sure that the camera pans down and there's like a whole bunch of people also doing it on like a leaf under them.
Oh no!
I didn't realize that. I don't.
So they
think...
had.
Like I might be making that up in my head, but I'm like 90% sure that that's a thing.
That sounds right.
We're
gonna go with it. So yeah, they do that. Soon after this whole thing, Jake reveals his change in alliance. And then he actually ends up, the RDA comes in and they bring in a huge bulldozer and they start knocking shit down because they're like, Jake's taking too long. We gotta just do this instead of doing any kind of political move whatsoever or respecting land. Screw it.
Also, another critical point I'd like to point out, he did not decide to change sides until he got the nut. Like, that was, I think, another thing.
He got that
He had
nut,
to-
and he was like,
Like if he didn't,
He's like, "I can't go
ponytail
back,
fuck the other
man."
alien, I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have changed sides.
well, he's like every other. Can I make this joke?
Yeah, you can make whatever joke you want.
I was gonna
can edit
say,
it out and
he
post
is
if
like-
it's too bad.
It's not bad. It's just he's like every other U.S. soldier in a foreign land. He gets the one good nut from a local girl, and he's like, maybe they're not so bad after all.
Maybe I'm the bad guy.
Oh God, that's probably true. So Jake obviously doesn't go and be like, "Hey, I'm against you guys." He gets caught on video recording of destroying the bulldozer. The administrator. So sorry, wrong place. So, despite Grace's argument that destroying Home Tree could damage the biological neural network native to Pandora, the administrator gives Jake and Grace 1 hour to convince the Na'vi to evacuate before commencing the attack. Once again,
Sorry.
a terrible use of fucking pacing in this.
The neural network.
We go
The
from
neural network.
3 or 4 months to you have an hour.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Okay.
So, Jake
And
confesses
this
to
movie
the
was still
Na'vi
fucking
that
5 hours long.
it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. I looked it up.
It's close enough.
Fact check me, Tim.
162 minutes is
Like,
an
how do you
hour and
have
42 minutes. Close enough.
Yeah,
These-
like how do you have that much
Yeah,
runtime, but
almost.
still you can't pace your movie correctly?
I'm almost positive that when it released on home video and you got the director's cut, that Gazoon type, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm almost positive that it was over a 3 hour. It was like fucking Lord of the Rings.
Can I
The
find
Lord
like
of
a
the Rings is
director's
good.
cut? God, it was so good. I want to rewatch them pretty soon. Extended home
Yeah.
release. Go on. I'll try and figure it out.
Okay. So the colonel, who's this big bad guy, I believe his name was Killmonger or something. Yeah.
It's
Or his
something
last name
really.
was.
It's something stupid.
Yeah.
It's not that. I wish it was. His name is Colonel Miles Quaritch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
it's just like-
so,
I don't know. I wish it was Kilgore. That'd be so much cooler.
So him and his crew, they roll up. They're gonna go destroy Home Tree. So they pretty much like send rockets and shit and just start blowing everything up. They actually kill a bunch of people. They kill the chief. So at this point, Jake has confessed to the Na'vi that he was a spy. So they take him and Grace captive, because they're like, "Hey, you're a spy, and you've been lying to us." Kind of makes sense. It's whatever, but like also, you've been fucking. So in this event that everything's blowing up, people are dying. The spiritual leader decides to free Jake and Grace. But they detach from their avatars and are imprisoned by the colonel's forces because they found where they've been living. So they go from being captive in their avatars to being captive in life. So they get imprisoned by the colonel's forces. Pilot Trudy, though, disgusted by the colonel's brutality, frees Jake, Grace, and Norm, and airlifts them to Grace's outpost. But Grace in this has been fatally wounded and shot by Quaritch during the escape. I also want to point out that Pilot Trudy has been a character this whole time, and I did not say her her name once because just like Norm, she's completely forgettable. And I'm very sad about it because it's the woman that plays Letty in Fast and Furious. I really enjoy
Joe
that actress.
Rodriguez.
Yes. She's a good one. And they gave her a very, very shitty role. So after that, at this point, again, I kept forgetting about them. But to regain the Navi's trust, Jake connects his mind to a dragon-like beast who was feared and honored by the Navi. They like fly these
Dragonfly things.
Dragon
Like
things.
dragonfly, pterodactyls, fucking. all
Yeah.
of them.
Kinda. And he just found the biggest one that they're all afraid of. Linked with it. The only difference is it's bigger and it's red. And the other ones are like a blue and green color. Yeah. So cool. So at this point, Jake then finds the refugees at a sacred tree of souls and pleads with the spiritual leader to heal Grace. The clan attempts to transfer Grace into her human body, from her human body to her avatar with the aid of the tree of souls. But she dies before the process can be complete, which then at this point, the only actor that I cared about really is gone. So
Hey, good for her. She doesn't have to come back for the sequels.
very fair. So supported by the new chief, Jake unites the clan, or the clans, because there's a bunch of them, unites them all and tells them to gather all of the clans to battle the RDA. The colonel organizes a preemptive strike against the Tree of Souls, believing that its destruction will demoralize the natives. On the eve of battle, Jake prays to Iwa via the neural connection with the Tree of Souls to help them win the battle. So he's found Jesus as well in this movie. Pretty cool. During the subsequent battle that does ensue, the Navi suffer heavy casualties, but many are rescued, and the wildlife unexpectedly join the attack and overwhelm the humans. So they're able to kind of turn the tide of war here. Jake then destroys like a makeshift bomb before it can reach the Tree of Souls. The colonel comes in wearing an AMP suit, which is just like a giant robotic suit. I'm sure people remember that.
Just a power lifter from Alien, but bigger.
Yeah. And has weapons on it and stuff too.
Oh yeah, fair.
So I'm just blanking here where I was at. I'm sorry. Later he finds, or the colonel eventually finds where Jake's body is. So he actually like rips the side of the building off. And like we've talked about, the air is poisonous. So if, his capsule is broke, he's dying, but he's still linked to his avatar. So he can't really do anything about it. Luckily, the colonel, right before he's prepared to cut Jake's avatar's throat open, Jake's blue lady friend is back, and she actually kills this guy. She's badass, saves Jake from suffocation, and this is the first time she's ever seen his human body. So, yeah. I'm curious if she kind of had a thought I kind of want to see what his real body is packing.
I don't. Okay.
No, because his real body doesn't have a fucking ponytail, John.
Oh yeah, sorry.
He's a Marine. He's
they
got
make
the
love.
clean cut, dog.
She's got that
She don't give a shit about his human body.
It's got a high and tight.
Top.
Yeah. she ain't
So
getting nothing from
eventually-
that high and tight.
So eventually the Navi do win. And they actually start sending everyone back to find somewhere else to live, leaving Pandora. With the exceptions of Jake, Norm, and a select few, I think Trudy ends up staying too. Jake and Norm, though, get put into their avatar bodies permanently. I believe Trudy stays in her body because
What happens?
one, she doesn't have an avatar, but also I don't think she wanted to be an avatar.
Yeah, but how does she stay on the planet if it's poisonous?
They have like gas masks.
That's
I don't
a
know where they're
finite
getting the air.
resource.
I don't
That
know
is
where
a
they're getting the
finite
air from.
resource.
Yeah,
Eventually,
another
that
thing.
gas mask is not going to work.
they have to make air.
And then what?
I don't know. So
Stupid.
that is the plot of the movie.
Dumb. How
I
did
mean,
they become
obvious-
permanent? How did that happen?
With the Tree of Souls, transferred their body, so they literally killed
What happened
themselves.
to their old
and then were
body? I was
reborn.
gonna say, yeah.
Their old body is completely dead. It's a dead body.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. So I did some what the fuck research, I call it, in this case. And in 94, director James Cameron wrote an 80-page treatment for Avatar. Drawing inspiration from quote unquote every single science fiction book that I have ever read. Is something that he quoted. He also, so obviously, like right then and there, it's literally like that's why this movie doesn't feel like a work of art or anything, or like
Doesn't
anything
feel
new,
cohesive
because he
So-
literally
because it's like
used-
every other fucking idea in the world.
yeah.
No, so basically what you're telling me is that James Cameron essentially did the whole thing where, you know that meme where it's like, I made an AI watch 1,000 hours of Seinfeld and
Yes.
write an episode. That's basically what James Cameron did with Avatar, except he just sat down and read a bunch of sci-fi books.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. So he also threw in some adventure novel tropes, obviously, because he was also very much into adventure novels. So in August 1996, Cameron announced that after completing Titanic, he would film Avatar, which would make use of synthetic or computer-generated actors. Project would cost $100 million and involve at least 6 actors in leading roles who appear to be real but do not exist in the physical world. Visual effects house Digital Domain, with whom Cameron has partnership, joined the project, which was supposed to begin in mid-1997 for a 1999 release. However, Cameron felt that technology was not caught up enough with the story and the vision. And I don't know, I kind of call bullshit because like we had Jurassic Park and stuff already out. Like, come on.
Yeah, but like that was different. Like Jurassic Park, like those were like physical props.
They were, like,
you
practical.
know?
That's fair, I suppose. That's
and
fair.
from what it sounds like, he wanted it all to be like some kind
He
of
wanted
like,
it all
I
to
don't
be
know, computer
computerized.
digital shit.
Well, yeah, never mind. I won't make it against that because I don't know the timelines. Never mind.
We already had
Anyways.
Phantom Menace by 2001, so what the fuck was he doing?
I
And
don't
that
know.
CG looked great.
For the time, yeah.
Pod racers, I would have thought those were real.
Now this is pod racing.
So
Jar Jar Binks, like he was in the room with me.
So instead of making this movie, he waited for technology to catch up, and in the meantime, he just focused on documentaries, and actually
Literally
trying
only
to
made 2
refine
of
the
them.
yeah, he was trying to refine the technology for the next few years. It was revealed that Bloomberg Business Week cover story that 20th Century Fox had fronted $10 million to Cameron to film a proof of concept clip for Avatar, which he showed to Fox executives in October 2005. In February 2006, Cameron revealed that his film he titled Project 880 was a retooled version of Avatar, a film that he had tried to make years earlier, citing the technology advantages. He's got inspired, I guess, by Gollum, King Kong, and Davy Jones. and decided, hey, those are good enough, so I can make this movie now.
Gollum? I mean, Gollum looked okay.
Yeah, I mean, all of those characters would like to me looked okay.
And
Probably Davy Jones the best out of them, all three of them.
I don't remember. No, I don't think I know Andy Serkis obviously did Gollum, but like
Yeah,
Andy Serkis is the mocap guy in my mind.
oh yeah, 100%. He's the man. He wasn't in this movie. Like that's the other thing is like you literally didn't cast the guy that is the mocap king to come and do it. So anyways, let's see. Cameron had chosen Avatar over another project called Battle Angel after completing a 5-day camera test in the previous year.
That was
So he
probably a
did
good idea considering how Alita turned out.
Yeah. While these preparations were underway, Fox kept wavering in his commitment to Avatar because of its painful experience with cost overruns and delays on Cameron's previous picture, Titanic, even though Cameron rewrote the script to combine several characters together and offered to cut his fee in case the film flopped. Cameron installed a traffic light with an ember signal lit outside of a co-producer, John Lindau's office to represent the film's uncertain future. In mid-2006, Fox told Cameron in no uncertain terms that they were passing on the film. So he began shopping around to other studios and approached Walt Disney, showing his proof of concept to the then chairman Dick Cook. However, when Disney attempted to take over, Fox exercised its right to first refusal in October 2006. Fox finally agreed to commit to making Avatar after indigenous media agreed to back the film. So at least there was some kind of indigenous support for this movie.
It says ingenious.
Entirely racist. Oh my God, why did I say indigenous? Oh no, cut that out. Ingenious.
It's a bit different.
Yep. Thank you for.
I know. I know. Sometimes words are difficult.
Yeah, I'm gonna quit. I'm done.
Okay.
No, I gotta keep going. It's okay. Anyways, they reduce Fox financial exposure to less than half the film's official $237 million budget after Fox accepted Avatar. One skeptical Fox executive shook his head and told Cameron, I don't know if we're crazier for letting you do this or if you're crazier for thinking you can do this.
Both.
So the budget's already going through the roof because he started at 100 million, saying he could do that for the project, and it's already up to 237. So, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. So in December 2006, Cameron described Avatar as a futuristic tale set on a planet 200 years hence, a old-fashioned jungle adventure with an environmental conscience that aspires to a mythical level of storytelling. January 2007 press release described the film as an emotional journey of redemption and revolution. Agree. And said the story is of a wounded former Marine thrust unwillingly into an effort to settle and exploit an exotic planet rich in biodiversity, who eventually crosses over to lead the indigenous race in a battle for survival. And that was actually indigenous that time. I didn't fuck up that. The story would be of an entire world complete with an ecosystem, plants, creatures, all of that stuff, which is neat.
The adjective you left out is phantasmagorical.
No. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Tim. I'm so glad.
I saw it. I was like, is he going to try?
No. I know all these words, but my
Yeah, I
brain
know.
and my mouth don't want to spit them out correctly. That's the
I get it.
issue.
I'm not making fun. I'm just
No, I'm just letting the viewers know that I'm stupid. Uh, so, in my opinion, I would call it an overrated trope filled futuristic sci-fi Jurassic Park. Honestly.
not even, dude.
I
I'm-
that's giving it some there.
I was
because
gonna
it's
say
a-
at least Jurassic Park was
Park's a great-
exciting.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
this just like white savior complex, the movie?
kind of.
Also, I
100%.
love that we're in the year 2006, and this guy's like, former Marine, and it's like,
Yeah,
you know, the
They're
most.
writing
I
off
mean,
that 2001.
I'm not saying there weren't a lot of disenfranchised Marines following Afghanistan, but like, not the most underappreciated group in the world at the time. Very much
Yeah,
like, who can we use to like make people want to see this movie? And it's like, let's make him a U.S. Marine.
Yeah,
I think if there was
yeah.
no military construct in this movie, it definitely would not have done it at all.
No,
I think the second one's gonna flop because I don't think there is a like battle, quote unquote, specific. It's supposed to just be building the world.
apparently it has them raising kids.
Yeah, which is
Who
dumb.
gives a
So
fuck about that? I'm not gonna
Estimates
sit in the
put
movie
the-
theaters for 3 hours for that.
yeah, estimates put the cost of the film at about 280 to 310 million to produce, and an estimated 150 million for marketing. Noting that about 30 million in tax credits would lessen the financial impact on the studio and its financiers. After that came out, a studio spokesperson said that the budget was 237 million with 150 million for promotion. End of story. Was it. I don't think that's true. I think that people were just like, hey, like you kind of made a flop of a movie, but they're hiding their costs so that it wasn't entirely showing us. I mean, and obviously it wouldn't be a flop either way. They've made $1 billion or what, $3 billion or something like that. That's like, it's not a flop, but it definitely shows that the movie didn't do as good as people thought it did compared to other movies in that category. So now I'll go on to redeeming qualities, in my opinion. I will say that the language, it was actually created by a former linguist, and his name was Dr. Paul Fromer. The Navi language has a lexicon about 1,000 words, with some 30 added by Cameron himself. Probably the terrible ones, like Home Tree.
What if it was literally just like if they hadn't gotten an actual linguist on board, I feel like Cameron would have legitimately just stolen like an indigenous language and been like, check out this exotic, cool language that they speak.
I feel like that was probably the intent at first, and then he was like, and then someone was probably like, you probably shouldn't do that, guy. And so he went out of his way to go do this. The other thing that I will say that is a redeeming factor is obviously Sigourney Weaver. She is awesome. I loved her in Alien. Loved her in Cabin in the Woods.
What about
I mean, she
Aliens?
was- Aliens, yes.
You know, the other James Cameron joint.
Yeah. So, I mean, I loved her in those movies, but I mean, this one kind of left a lot. Like, she didn't really do a whole lot. They didn't use her character and her acting abilities very well, in my opinion. So the other thing is that Sigourney Weaver and the film's set designers actually met with Jody S. Holt, a professor at plant psychology,
Physiology.
At University of California, Riverside, to learn about the methods used by botanists to study and sample plants to discuss ways to explain the communication between Pandora's organisms depicted in the film. So, like, I will give it that because, like, a lot of films don't think about that. So, like, at least they were like, well, maybe we should figure out how plants actually do communicate.
You know what movie did think about it?
What?
The Happening, starring Mark Wahlberg.
Stop. No, they did.
That's the whole point of that movie, is that the plants are like, humanity is a danger to Earth, time to turn on the death signal.
That's what plants do. So, that's my piece. I will admit that it is impressive that it still holds the world's top grossing movie slot. And like I said, the language was great. I just still feel that the character development was bad. There was no depth in the movie. There was not a lot of world building in a movie that was supposed to be building a whole world.
Just leave that for the second movie, Forehead.
Yeah, I just think it's a 3D eye pleaser. And if it didn't come out around the craze of 3D movies, the IMAX theaters, it wouldn't have done anything. It would have been mediocre. And I think a lot of people realized that when they bought it and took it home and was like, oh, hey, it kind of isn't that great when I have to watch it on a 32-inch TV.
So what's really funny to me personally is that when they released like the extended cuts, like the Blu-ray version and stuff, they didn't change the aspect ratio to fit the HD. They kept it in 16:9 because Cameron was like, this is the best format to watch the film.
Okay.
You can't.
So like 30% of your TV isn't being used to watch this movie because James Cameron is
the
just
ratio.
No, you have to watch it in 16:9.
It's dumb. So I don't know. I was gonna open it up to you guys to see if you had any closing remarks on it, but ultimately that's pretty much my take on them. I mean, it's hot garbage that a lot of people think is this masterpiece.
Fucking fuck, dude. No, it's not.
Sucks.
I know some people that stand this movie 100%, and I have had.
Have they seen another movie?
No, that's the thing. They haven't.
There is a person, I will not name names, that I know that actually went to school for filming, and still this is one of his favorite movies and thinks it's amazing. And I have gotten in heated arguments over it.
What's their defense for it?
That it's a masterpiece.
Are they
That
just
it
a
was
James
filmed
Cameron?
beautifully.
Are they just a James Cameron stan? Like,
I think that's what it comes down to, is that if you're a James Cameron stan, you love this movie and you see no flaws in it.
T2 is the best movie I've ever seen, so you can't make a bad movie. He made Titanic. You know, the movie that was released
Titanic,
on two...
I don't think is good.
It's released on 2 VHSs. How can it be bad?
It's just it's stupid.
No, Titanic is not good either. There's a lot of like things historically wrong with it, which I guess if you're trying to make a historical, like, not fiction, I guess it's historical fiction because, you know, those characters didn't exist in the real world that we know of. But like,
Jack was
I don't
real.
know. Jack was real. Rose
Don't spoil-
Livador.
Hey, let's just not spoil the end of the movie. Some people haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, let's not spoil the fact that the Titanic sank. Oh shit!
God damn it! Everyone's tuning off now because they're pissed off. So yeah, I mean that's about it. I mean we could start wrapping stuff up if no one's got any last minute comments, and head over to the minisode. And that
Any
is
last minute comments?
Nothing.
no, nothing. Doesn't even
no.
want to doesn't want to diminish her her personal, never
Brand.
mind. Go ahead, Tim.
I just don't think, like, okay, T2 and Terminator 1, Terminator 2, good movies.
Cool.
Just don't get it, man. How can you go from, he made Titanic, and then there's like a fucking 7-8 year gap where he just made documentaries. And then it was just like, Avatar. Did it really take that long to get this fucking movie made? I guess it did, according to your notes, but like...
To me, I'm sorry, that amount of time that it took, this movie should have been better.
Yeah.
100%. Like, the plot should have been better, the character development. I mean, if the technology's not caught up and you want to make this amazing movie, cast everyone and start having them run dialogue and shit.
So
shoot practice scenes and stuff. And I don't think any of that happened because the technology wasn't caught up. That's probably what he's going to blame on.
even if...
You have to have good actors, even if half the movie...
Bro,
or
they
three-quarters
had
of the
Sam
movie is fake.
Worthington. Okay.
What has he been in since this?
Since this, The Flash. That's not true. Films. Since this, he's been in quite a few things. He was in Terminator Salvation and Avatar in the same year.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was in Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans,
Both also amazing movies.
Hacksaw Ridge. I'm just like naming off the movies that I recognize the names of. And that's it.
Cool. Yeah.
Until we get to
his
like
career really blew up.
Avatar 2 and Avatar 3. And then he was in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, 2, and 4. And he wasn't even in anything on TV really. Like, I don't know. This movie is... I remember even seeing this movie when it came out. I'm pretty sure I got like the DVD from like the public library or something. And I remember being like... I don't remember not enjoying it, but I don't remember it being like, this is the best movie I've ever seen. I just remember being like, okay, that was a movie. It had some interesting ideas.
I remember my first viewing. I was like, that was watchable. And then I saw it in theaters the first time. And then when I saw it at home, I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah, I didn't see it in theater, so I guess I didn't get the premiere experience of seeing it in IMAX.
I also have never liked 3D movies because
Oh no, they suck ass.
Since like I've worn glasses like life. So like to have to wear those stupid glasses over my glasses, even when I wear contacts and I wear them, it fucks with my eyes really bad. I just want a normal movie. Just a normal movie.
Yeah. Fuck.
I guess that's all I have to say. I don't like this movie either.
It's bad.
1 out of 5.
I'll give it 1.5.
I'll bump it up to a 2. It's got some okay looking it looks okay.
1 Crocs lighter out of 5.
Okay.
That's gonna be our new rating system.
I only own 1 Crocs lighter, so I might need to get 4 more.
I'll just I'll edit like a little bar at the bottom, and I'll put like a little like PNGs down there of 4.
Why don't you have one of those?
1 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
Why don't you have one of those cool plasma lighters that they advertise on Instagram?
Oh yeah.
Or
on TikTok.
Like that.
They never run out of battery.
Rechargeable.
Good for
They look
the
pretty cool,
planet,
but I guarantee you they
maybe.
suck ass. Anyway,
It's just
we can-
yeah, it's just like those like cheap ass knives that you get off the internet. You know, I'm sure they function, but they're probably not as good as they're telling you they are.
yeah.
So that brings us to the end. We'll wrap up real quick. Tim, where can we find you?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Timmy C. You can find me on every other social media at Hot Pink Waffles. You can find my Twitch at Uncle Fungal Shroom.
Damn.
I'm
Lightning round.
box wine on everything now, I think, except the O is a 0. I think I just
Did you switch your Twitter too?
I think so.
There's no more gondola driver?
Nah, I liked the cohesiveness.
Yeah, I kind of did the same thing because you can find me at J_Mergs. Whether it's with an S or a Z, you can figure it out. That's the only thing that differs, but you'll find me either way. I checked. You can also catch me over on Socks and Scandals, which is another podcast. And we do episodes on Saturdays. So watch this one and then go watch that one. You can find the podcast at Rewind Reload everywhere. Still got to fix our title screen because our title screen has our old one, but that's neither here nor there. It's fine. And I think that's it. So I guess
Fair
we'll go hit the mini-sode.
Okay.